If you want to see how we built these chairs, make sure to stay tuned.
It feels good to be back.
Yes, it does.
Hey guys, welcome back to another week here with us at the Handy Creators.
Thank you so much for joining us as we tackle another DIY project.
So this week, we're going to be doing something a little bit like the old days. So if you guys have been watching us from the beginning, you see this roof over us, this kitchen behind us, this floor we're standing on. We built all this from scratch. And now that it's winter and it's a little breezy outside, I'm like, wow, it's time to enjoy this, right? But it's a little empty. If you guys want to see that whole transformation, make sure to see the series linked above of our whole backyard makeover, because this place looks completely different from when we started.
So in doing our research of what we wanted for this backyard area, we came across these beautiful rustic antique chairs from Restoration Hardware, but unfortunately, they are no longer available. And even when they were available, they were priced at $2,400 each. So we are confident that we can build these chairs for under $500. And that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Or try to do.
Yeah, we're gonna try to build these chairs, and we're pretty confident that they can be built for under $500.
I think so.
We went this morning to Home Depot and purchased all the supplies that we're going to be needing for this project. And we hope that we can build these chairs and show you guys how to recreate them.
Even though we are gonna be giving step-by-step instructions and showing you guys in this video how it is that we're gonna be doing these chairs, if you want specific details on how to recreate these exact ones by measurements, we will be having our plans for purchase available in our website linked below. So go check that out if you are interested in making these exact ones for yourself.
We're gonna start off by cutting all of these woods and then going onto the actual build. Let's go. For this design, we will be using 6x6 posts for the armrests, and we will be using 2x6 posts for the bottom and back supports. For each chair, you will need 3 6x6 posts and 2 2x6 that you will need to cut down to size. To do this, we will be using our 10-inch miter saw, which will be linked below. Unfortunately, our miter saw's blade is not big enough to cut the wood in one single motion. So we will be using a technique that we have used before when we built our pergola, which again, if you haven't seen that, make sure to click the video above. And what it consists of is making a cut and then flipping the 6x6 over to make another cut until we have completely cut through the post.
So we're taking a little break because I wanted to show you guys how these cuts came out. Not to brag, but I feel that for the fact that we've been doing 3 cuts on each of these woods by like 3 sides, they came out super, super good. So if you take a little close up here, this one that has been the worst out of the 3, look at that. And again, we're gonna be very picky about these edges. In the design we're going for, you will be able to see all of these, but honestly, with a little bit of sanding, we could get these flawless. For this project, we will be aging the wood down ourselves. Bam, bam, bam. I know, super different. Usually, if you've seen our videos in the past, we like to go for this very sanded, smooth finish, but not this time. We're actually going for more of an antique design. So if this happens to you, don't worry too much about it. It's actually a good thing, and it's helping you do the job beforehand. I think the break's over. Let's keep cutting. We still have like 4 more woods we have to cut down.
If by any chance you don't have a miter saw or any circular saw at home to cut these posts or these woods, Home Depot and Lowe's should be able to cut these down for you. I believe they charge like 25 cents a cut. Unfortunately, the only downfall is that they do not guarantee you exact or precise cuts. So you have to take that into consideration when deciding what route to go. If you are able to make these cuts at home, our only advice is to just be very careful with these woods. They are extremely heavy, and we have actually gotten injured, or by we, I mean I have gotten injured with these posts in the past. Always make sure to take the necessary safety precautions when working with power tools or heavy wood. Unfortunately, our day got the better of us, so we're gonna call it a night. But don't worry, we'll be back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. We have gotten our beauty sleep and we are ready to finish this project. The next thing we're gonna be doing is finish cutting all of our woods and then continue on with this design.
All the woods are cut to size. Now, even though we're gonna have this design be more antique, we are gonna be sanding it, okay? We're gonna be using a planer that we own, but you could sand it in your house. The only reason we're doing this is because these woods are a little bit stained and the color's a bit ugly, so we wanna get it to a nice color. And we're also gonna be using a router to round the edges. This is also possible doing it with your sander at home, which is a way more affordable option for everyone out there that doesn't have these supplies. So I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I say this in every video. Make sure to test whatever you wanna do on your project on a scrap piece of wood. We would never do this on the items that we cut and we're gonna use, because if we don't like it, there's no going back after you take something off. I know I say this in every video, but I have to say it again. Always test things on a scrap piece of wood before you go on and you go in and do it on your project.
So we purchased this new router, which I will make sure to link below. And we have heard great reviews on it, but we have just spent like the last hour trying to figure out how to make it work.
If you are just doing this project, there's no need for you to go buy this item. We purchased it because we do so many projects that involve this that it is extremely convenient for us to have, and it's gonna make these jobs way easier. So we're excited. We have this. We've been looking forward to it, and we can figure out how to use it.
We have done, I think, like 30 different cuts to try to get the perfect rounded edge, and we have finally got it.
Let's just say that we had to have an ice cream break because we were that frustrated.
If you do decide to use a router, all you have to do is grab your router, set it to the desired depth, and then go ahead and round the edges.
We'll actually link a video we saw below that was the key to us actually finding out how to use this. We're not gonna give you guys instructions because we're still trying to figure it out, but we'll link a video below so you guys can know exactly how it is to use it if you decide to buy one and add it to your collection.
So now that we actually have figured out how to use this router, it gives these pieces the finishing touch that will really differentiate it from wood from the grocery store to a piece that looks like it's part of furniture.
The grocery store? Yeah, because I went to my dentist and found these woods.
Beep. A router is what will give these pieces of wood the finishing touches to really differentiate it and take it from a piece from the hardware store to a piece of furniture. The next step is going to be actually aging these woods. So I believe that this is the part of the project that's going to make each furniture unique and different to the person's style. And even if you try to recreate it, it won't come out the same. We have never done this before, but we have done some research on how it is that you're supposed to actually antique wood. And the theory of it is bang it up. So using chisels and the back end of a hammer, we're going to be scuffing up all of the woods. That way we give the wood a look of a rustic antique finish that has weathered its few storms.
So pretty much we are going to be grabbing every tool that we have in this garage and beating this wood up. So if you're angry or you're having issues, I think this is the perfect time to do this project. No, I'm just kidding.
We tested out the full method of how we plan on aging these rustic woods, and this is what came out. We absolutely love how it looks, and we will not tell you guys what we did yet. Instead, we're gonna show you.
We are still trying to rough up these sides. This is no easy task. We wanted to give you guys a little note. As we have shown, we are only roughing up two opposite sides of the wood. Now we are picking which woods we are gonna be using for the top, the actual armrest, which is gonna be facing up. For these armrests, we are gonna have to be roughing up 3 sides instead of 2 because obviously we have the top side. Now what's happening is that every time we tell ourselves, oh, this is gonna be the armrest, we screw it up. So what we're doing now is just we're doing 2 sides on all of them, and then we're gonna be going through the nicest ones and picking which ones we want to be the actual armrest, and we're gonna need 4 of them, which will make up the 2 chairs.
Something else that we did during the roughing up process of this project was that we grabbed wire brush attachments for our drill and just ran it across the entire post to give it the little scratches here and there that natural wood has.
I feel like this brings the whole look of it together, and I think that's what we want.
So here you have the wood beforehand, and let's see how it looks once you give it some wire brushing. Wow.
Oh my god.
If you guys see here, so this is before, this is after.
So maybe we could do it like right here.
Yeah, so they can see good. Do it again.
Be careful.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, so we have to be light with it. We can't do too. Let's see if we just leave it in place.
Okay, so I think that's too deep. I think we just want to like lightly scrape it over.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Let's go. You ready?
So we initially didn't think we were gonna sand this whatsoever, but with the whole aging, it has like a lot of little like fur, and we don't like that look too much. So we're gonna come in with a sander and give it like a very rough number, maybe like a 60 or something, just to take off the excess wood that is kind of peeling off. And we are gonna sand this a little bit because we kind of want a smoother finish. Let's see how it goes, and yeah, no more talking, Adriana. Control the Latin in you. So if you guys have been watching us for a while, you know that this video wouldn't be our video, and this project wouldn't be our project, and we wouldn't be the handy creators if there's not a hiccup along the way. Welcome to that part of the video where we're gonna show you our hiccup. When we're finishing the sanding process, we're stacking them, and Jesus tells me that looks really low, and it was. So we have 3 on this end, which is the actual design of the one that they saw at Restoration Hardware. And this is what it should feel like. We put some 6x6 on the floor and we're testing out. And you guys, we're brainstorming and we're like, how? When we make the measurements, these with 3 come out to like 18 inches. And the ones that they sell come up to 22. What we're believing and what we are assuming is that instead of 6x6, the chairs are made of 8x8. But they don't sell that at the store. I mean, not where we live. You have to do a special order and they're like triple the price. So thankfully, we have some extra wood from our pergola because we use this same thing. We're gonna see if we can use that so we don't have to go out to the store and spend more money. But it seems like you are gonna need 4 of these stacked in order to get that, unless you are willing to buy the 8x8s. Just measure. Make sure to measure because we didn't apparently. I am definitely not trying to hit at anyone or trying to make anyone here in this surface feel bad, but the math was wrong again. Okay guys, no jokes. Let's go. Let's see if we could work with this wood that we have. And the only issue that we're really having is that they're painted black because we've been using them as stand to paint other things, but we can't leave it like this unless we're gonna give this chair to Bailey.
Safety first. Let's see. So the planning worked. We are going to basically repeat the process, but with these woods. We won't bore you with the details. Let's go do that and we'll be right back. Grab your dirt and just rub it all across the wood. Yes, I know this might seem counterintuitive, but realistically, what's happening right now is that all that dirt is going inside of the crevices that you've been working so hard on to have. So it gives it that rough up look that you want to have before staining. And then you can finally put this thing together. You want to make sure that you also do the front and the back edges of the wood, since these are going to be the most visible parts of your furniture. Here we have a little before. As you see, it already looks aged, but you just grab the dirt, spread it around, and now it looks like you just pulled it from the forest. All right, and here is a little before and after on what this dirt really does. As you see, this side right here has not been touched. We haven't added the dirt yet. And this part we have. So the wood really soaks up all that dirt. And then when you stain it, it makes it look like rustic, which is really the look that we're going for. After testing all of the 3 color combinations, we have decided to just move forward with the sealer because we feel that it's going to give it the final look that we want it to look like. Before doing that, we're gonna go ahead and get to assembly. To do this, we're gonna glue all of the posts together, clamp them, let them dry overnight, and then tomorrow we'll come back and apply the sealer. We will also be using a biscuit joiner to open holes along all of the posts, and then adding biscuits to give it the extra strength that this needs since it will be going outside. We did want to mention that we had to end up removing all the biscuit joints. The reason being is that for some reason the joiner, I'm pretty sure that it was just fault of my own, but I didn't make the lines as straight as they needed to be. So when we did the glue up, put the biscuit joiners, and we clamped it together, the edges were not smooth with each other how they needed to be. So we decided to just take away the little biscuits and just do a traditional glue up, because these posts are really big, and if the glue set as it should, then we're not gonna need the biscuit joints. So I'm a little nervous. Do you think this is gonna be good?
I don't know.
I'm nervous. I'm really nervous.
Just
so
prepare yourself for chaos.
I am. I think we're both like ready for this to be a complete fail, and that's okay because a wise person once told me that you learn through your failures. So let's unclamp this and see if it worked. I think the key will be if I can flip this without it falling apart. Okay, okay. Wow. Wow. Oh. Okay.
So after much consideration and brainstorming, I think we kind of have an idea of what we're gonna do. Jesus did this glue up. He glued all 4 of them together, laying down. So we're gonna go with a different tactic that we think it might work better. So
what we're gonna do is we are gonna attempt another glue up. I do believe that this glue is strong enough for this type of glue up, but this time we are going to try to do everything in our power to avoid having to flip this over in any way, shape, or form, because that does put stress on this glue.
you must be thinking now, how are you gonna build something that you can't move around because you're afraid that it's gonna break off? That is not the point of this, okay? Remember that when we put the extra support on the chair, like the seats and the back, all that's gonna be aligned in a way that it's gonna bring extra strength to the chair, and it's gonna pretty much bring everything together as one unit. So no, you are not gonna have things falling apart. But remember, we need to do this in order to get that part of the process. And a table without the top part of the table is not a table, it's just 4 legs.
Yeah, I like that. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna re-glue everything, but this time we are gonna stand it up vertically, and we are also gonna clamp it down. What this is gonna do is it's gonna have the pressure of the clamps forcing it to glue together, in addition to allowing gravity to do most of the work by having all these posts sit on top of one another. And at the end of the day, this is how the posts are going to be installed for the chair. So these panels will never have to be turned on its side, and you won't have to worry about causing that unnecessary stress on the glue.
And we did not wait the actual 24 hours to move this around. You are supposed to wait 24 hours. Again, it's on us, because
No fault of our own.
Why would we wait 24 hours? Like, what the heck?
Well, now we know why.
But we need to get this in a place that we could keep working.
And here we have all 4 panels glued, clamped, resting. We're gonna let these panels sit for 24 hours, start working on the other woods, and then come back for the assembly. For each lounge chair, we will be needing 2 support braces for the back and 4 support braces for the bottom. Now, for the back pieces, you will have to rough up the top, the bottom, and one of the faces. And for the bottom pieces, where the bottom of the cushion is going to be, you will only have to rough up the top and the bottom, since that is what is going to be visible. We will not be rounding these edges off. We will simply be leaving them how they are, but we will be using the same technique to rough it up, and we will be sanding it as well with a 60 grit sandpaper. Guys, look at this, how beautiful. So something that we've been doing different is that the dirt wasn't staining on its own, so we just misted it just enough to give it like a more of a wet texture. And look at this. Gosh, that is beautiful. Come on, we're on the last stretch. Let's finish this.
So we're back.
It has been officially 72 hours since we have added the glue and clamped this down. And even till now, I feel very anxious about taking these clamps off.
So we felt so anxious that we decided, let's make this more permanent. We went through all this trouble. We want these to come out. We want these to be long lasting. So my genius husband came out with this idea.
We are going to be installing dowels on both ends of each panel. That way there is absolutely no way that this will fall apart. And if it does, it just means that this was not meant to be.
So if you guys recall, we purchased, what was that?
Biscuit joiner.
We purchased a biscuit joiner. I did not like the concept of a biscuit joiner. And I wonder if there's a machine out there who will give you perfect dowels measurements, because that I would invest in. I didn't like that the biscuit joiners, it's like a little moon, so it moves, it's flimsy. So yes, even though we tried this concept already, we didn't do it with the dowels, which is what we know and we've done already and we like.
We purchased a 5/8 by 18 inch drill bit.
Yeah.
Yes, 18 inches. And we're gonna be drilling through the entire panel and just doing one long dowel that will connect all 4 of the pieces that make up the one panel.
That's
the theory.
Yeah,
that's the theory.
that's
It
the
might not
hope.
work.
Let's see.
We went to Lowe's today, purchased the drill bit, purchased the dowels, and we're gonna try to flip this without it, falling apart. And then also drilling this also without this falling apart. One thing we did want to mention before we go on and do this is that we wanted the dowels to not be visible. That is why we will be installing the dowel from the bottom up.
So this is super dangerous because it is so heavy, and I can't really like carry it because the table's so high that I can't do this to them because it's so heavy. So if you guys just saw Jesus, babe, you're a rock star. He carried it all on his own. Well, but something I wanted to say, the reason why we're leaving the clamps is when you drill, it makes a lot of vibration and it could kind of tear things that aren't too tight apart. The panels seemed super sturdy and strong, so I feel really confident, but we're gonna leave them clamped together. That way the vibration of drilling is not as much and it won't alter the glue that's already there. I feel like people need to know that Jesus and I are Cuban, and when you're Cuban, like, you're very exaggerated with safety stuff, but that's in our nature. Like, we have to exaggerate safety.
Guys, look at the size of this.
So, talking about exaggerations. Oh my gosh, what happened?
My drill gave out.
Oh my god, guys.
It smells like burnt.
Yeah, smoke was coming out.
No, it's not coming out.
This should be interesting.
Okay, so we have been playing with this method for the last few days, and what we realized that is happening is that the dowels are too thick to go inside of the hole smoothly once it's drilled. And we have realized that, as you guys may know, wood that they sell you in the stores is never precise. So yes, the drill bit that we're using is a 5/8 inch drill bit and the hole is perfect, but the dowel is too thick. So what we've been doing is lightly sanding it just enough to get it to go inside the hole, and then adding wood glue to act as sort of a bonding agent. So we have tried it on a few woods and it's been working so far. We're gonna go ahead and finish these panels and then get to the final step of the assembly. Now that all the armrest panels have been assembled, we will be opening pocket holes on all the support braces on both sides. We will be having 2 on each side. That is what's really going to bring this all together. For this, we will be using our Craig pocket hole jig. that's left to do is to finally put this together. The bottom support brace is going to be installed right here at the bottom of the second section of the armrest, and there will be a gap in between each one, and it will be 4 across, and the back one is going to be installed right on top at a 70-degree angle.
Why are you smiling?
Because it worked.
You want to sit?
Oh my god.
They're so comfy.
They're so comfy.
You look so cool.
Oh my god.
Well, there's gonna be white cushions on there. So.
Yeah, but I don't have boots on.
How do you feel?
Like I can take a nap. Oh my god.
So we couldn't use our little cart because the tires are low on air and they're gonna burst. You see, that doesn't look good. Ugh. So we made this invention. Let's see how that works. It's working?
Yeah.
Just walk it. There we go. Damn.
After finally getting the chairs to the back porch where they are going to be placed, it is time to finally apply the seal. Even though the seats are pressure treated, we just want to give it the extra protection to make sure that this is going to last us a very long time. We'll be using a brush and applying the sealer all over the chair in every angle. Once we're done applying this, we'll add the cushions and we can call this project complete. So here we have a before and after of applying the rubber seal. As you can see here, this one has a bit of a glossy look and this one's still matte. I'm really hoping, or we're really hoping that this dries and turns into this color because it's a little bit too orange for our taste, but we're hoping for the best. We're gonna let this sit for 24 to 48 hours as the instructions say before moving it at all. And then we will lay it as it's going to be placed and retouch this front portion. Let's do that and then we'll place the cushions and show you what it looks like in about 2 days. Although for you guys, it'll be in 3, 2, 1. It feels good to finally be sitting in these chairs.
I know. It's like I want to sleep here just because like I want to use them after all the work it took.
Yeah, and they're actually really comfortable. When we were making them and we tried them out for the first time, I felt like they were just a little bit too low, but now sitting in them and like
They're
in this
definitely,
mood,
it's a mood.
it's a mood, it's a vibe.
mood.
And they're perfect for this area.
So honestly, like I love how it turned out. I love it in the space. Honestly, I guess I have 2 cons. These are heavy to work with. even though the project itself is very easy, they're big logs, like they're big woods. So it does take some effort to like flip them around, move them from place to place, carry them, put them down. When you create the panels, even to bring them back here was kind of a struggle because of the size.
Yeah, these are definitely not the type of chairs that you're going to be able to be moving around on a constant basis. This is more the build it, place it, leave it alone.
Yeah, it was funny because my mom's like, I love them. But they wouldn't work out for me because I love to move my furniture around too much. I mean, I'm the type of person that when I put a decor somewhere, like if I like it, it won't move from there. So these are cool. The only, I guess, the second con is I didn't like the cedar we used. I loved the technique that we used with the dirt, but that sealer, I have way too many complaints about it. First, it was hard as heck to apply. It was like a glue, okay? So maybe the quality is amazing, but
not what we wanted, and we tend to go more for like the flat and matte style of things, and this is definitely more on the glossier side.
Yeah.
So I would say that just take that into consideration.
If that's your style, then you would definitely like this. It literally feels like
it
has like a rubber on top of it, but it is shiny, and it did change the color. It gave it more a bit of like a yellowish tone, and whatever brush she used, we couldn't clean it off. We looked tips online on how to clean out the brush that we used to apply the product, and we just couldn't salvage the paintbrush, so we had to toss it out. So take that into consideration.
I guess the last thing that we want to do is give you guys a cost breakdown of what it cost us to build both of these chairs, and see if we stayed under the $500 as we thought we would. The initial plan for these chairs was to use 3 6x6 pieces for each panel, but as you guys saw, we had to add an extra one to really give it the height that it needed. Thankfully, we had the wood laying around, but we're gonna give you the cost of what it would be buying everything from scratch.
Yeah, like it is right now.
So for these exact same chairs, it would cost $310.96 on wood. The cushions cost us $85.54 on Walmart. We spent $28.98 on the drill bit we used to install the dowels. And then on other miscellaneous purchases such as the dowels and the pocket hole screws, we spent $24.42, bringing the total cost of both of these chairs to $449.90.
Wow.
So just under the $500, and that was even taking into consideration that we would have needed to purchase more posts to get this. I think with that, we are going to label this as a complete success.
Yes. If you guys do this at home, make sure to tag us. We're dying to see you guys. We've gotten some messages from people on Instagram that they've done some projects of us, and I cannot emphasize enough like how happy it makes us to see you guys like taking our videos and getting inspired and doing it your own. Like we were on vacation when these people sent us the pictures of them working, and I started crying. It's awesome, you know. It's awesome to inspire others and to see like how hard you guys work on stuff as well. And I don't know, I guess we're here to inspire each other and to like go a long way. So
and learn on this journey. As always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and click the notifications bell so you don't see what we have in store for next week's video.
Bye.